So Alex and I were just talking about all the gear that we've got on the trip, and we've made a list of 10 things that I don't think you probably would have thought of. Well, maybe not. 10 things that we didn't think would be that important, but really we couldn't have done without, that we wouldn't do without, because they've made camping life that much easier. Here's the 10. Alright, as the old saying goes, it's bad luck to film a list video in one campsite. So here we are, on to the next one.
This is our dirty gear bag. It's made by PM Canvas. We had it custom made to suit the patrol because of our small barn door that opens. We didn't want any pockets on this side, so all the pockets are on the other side. The bag itself holds our rubbish bin, and we just open it up and throw our rubbish in there throughout the day. And then it also holds a dry bag for our dirty clothes before they're washed, so that all stays in there. And then any recycling as well just kind of sits in there loosely until we find a bin for it later on. It's not the cheapest thing out there on the market, and it's something that we wanted to invest in. It cost us $229 to have it custom made. We didn't even bother looking at ones that were much cheaper. We've seen those much cheaper ones falling apart on other people's vehicles as we've been driving around Australia, so there was really no choice except to go for Australian made and Australian canvas, and it's more than done its job. It's been exceptionally waterproof. We've had some really heavy rain and nothing's got into the bag. It's a really great product. It's Australian canvas. It's made by an Australian company. It doesn't really get much better than that for us.
What's this? Zebra camping cook set. One of the major requirements for camping pots and pans for me was it being stainless. You can't cook on the campfire with most Teflon cooking sets. You'll burn them, you'll warp them, you can't scrub them with a pot scrubber. But these are different, and not only that, they're super cheap and super compact and super light. It comes with 3 pots, or 2 pots in a pan. This is 600ml. This is 1.2 litres and this is 1.7 litres. This also acts as a lid for the big one. They're a bit rough at the moment because I can cook over the campfire with them, but they'll come back to new with a bit of sandpaper or like a pot scrubber. They were only $40. The next best stainless solution was, I think it was Cedar Summit or something of that ilk, about $80 for one. These are out of Thailand. Drifter stocks them, but I think you'd be able to find them on eBay or Amazon. I think there'd be a lot of places that sell them. I would highly recommend them. Even if you've got heaps of space, I would still recommend these, because for 2 people, that was ample room to cook. It was ample for boiling water. That'd be a perfect size for any camp stove. We've got quite a big one, but even if you had a smaller one, these would still be the perfect size. One thing you have to watch out for is this handle. If you let it sit down while the element's on and you go to pick it up, you will burn the shit out of yourself. And I have, multiple times. You think I'd learn? I don't learn. Another thing we wouldn't do without, welding gloves. Doesn't matter what welding gloves, don't have to be Big Red, I'm not sponsored by Big Red, just welding gloves. I got these off Marketplace for $3, doesn't matter. We were always going to bring them because I knew I was going to use them for the campfire, for moving firewood around. You can pick up a red hot piece of wood or ember, move the whole thing around as you want to, for a limited amount of time. Ouch. Not only do we use it for the fire, but we use it for our cookware as well, because our cookware is fully stainless, so there's no rubber on it, no rubber handles or anything, so it can get extremely hot. So rather than using one of Alex's precious tea towels, use Welding Gloves instead. They're cheap and work a treat.
My next pick would be the Floor Saver. It's protected our tent big time. We've gone through lots of different terrain. We've been on grass, we've been on dirt, we've been on rocks, we've been on bull dust, and the Floor Saver has had a couple of little holes in it, but it's protected the PVC floor of the tent, and that's the most important thing. We would never put the tent down without that Floor Saver down first. Also, it dries really quickly, so when we've had rain or when we've had like a dewy sort of morning, when we pack up it's a little bit wet, but when we lay it back out in the afternoon it dries so quickly. Water and dirt kind of fall through it, so you kind of always end up with a bit of like a clean area to be on, which is also great when we're going into the tent because we're not carrying quite as much dirt and grime into the tent. It comes off on our shoes while we walk over it those few steps and then go into the tent, and I've had to sweep out the tent many times, but it really has made a difference with how much dirt and dust we take in there. It was $129. We didn't look into other brands or anything. I just got the one that suited the tent, the exact size of the tent, so then that way we could peg down into the right areas. So it is the Oztent RV5 Plus ground sheet, and it's done its job. We really liked it. We rate it. It's been great.
And my next pick, and most important thing we wouldn't do this trip without, is our Rooftop Bag. So Alex found the bag on Marketplace for 50 bucks. We messaged them, and then they knocked it down to 30 bucks because it had a hole in it. It looked like it was roughly the right size. We went and picked it up, and it was the perfect size for our roof rack. The exact fit. As far as convenience goes, you can't beat it. Like, everything just goes up there. If we had to put all these things on our roof rack and strap them all down so they weren't moving around, pack up would take 2 hours every day. Just to be able to put everything up there, zip it closed, throw the tent on top and strap it down is wicked. For the most part, it keeps the weather out. The canvas is a little bit old, so sometimes water will pool in it. We've had torrential rain on this trip, and it's only been wet inside the bag twice, and the next day it was dry. It's Australian made, made by Kalgoorlie Canvas. I don't know how much it cost to make. I hate to think how much it costs to make. We'd sort of talked about getting something like this made, and for Alex just to stumble across it on Marketplace and to get it for 30 bucks, I cannot overstate how important it was. If we keep camping like this, we'll use it forever. Even if this one wears out, which it's pretty hardy, we'll just get another one made exactly the same because we wouldn't do it any differently. It's perfect. The depth is right. It zips on the driver's side, the rear, so it zips on the sides and the rear, and the front stays attached, so you just fold it over. It's perfect.
Ultimately, the best gear is just whatever gets you out camping. We want to encourage people to go secondhand because it doesn't have to be flash, it doesn't have to be the expensive stuff, it's just got to be the stuff that gets you out there. But that's it, that's our top 10. Thanks very much. Birch is just staring at you.
Am I out of shot?
Yeah.
Do it again, that's fine.
We've been on lots of different...
Yeah, I think for the most part you hit all the marks. I'm not going to start the whole thing again,
Okay.
just this bit. Now I want to look at our rooftop bag. Is that alright? Is that framed alright?
Does that sound right?
Yeah, your part was fine.
Okay. And I mean, what a number though. Are you right? We're filming. Are you bloody right? No. For God's sake.